Manchester City won, Chelsea won. I don't know what way to look at that game. I don't know whether I look as a draw as a positive or a negative. To some extent, it's a positive, but to some extent, it's a negative. It's a positive because we got a point because we were losing the game for so long, and we didn't lose. But it's a negative that we had like 32 chances and Chelsea had 9, and we ended up scoring 1, and so did they end up scoring 1, and then we ended up drawing the game. I think Pep tactically did get it a bit wrong today. He shouldn't have played Akanji in the midfield. He should have either played Kovacic alongside Rodri, or he should have played John Stones. I think the reason why he didn't play John Stones is because he's been injured a lot this season, and I think if he played 3 games in a week, then the possibility of him getting injured again was quite high. But I don't know how Haaland didn't score a goal in that game. He had like about 1 half chance, but he had about 3 clear-cut chances. And I don't know how he walks off that pitch today with not scoring a single goal. I know De Bruyne wasn't at his best today, but he'd feel unlucky not to get at least a couple of assists, especially with that one towards the end of the game where Haaland headed it over the bar. Chelsea did play well, and they were the better team for the first half, but in the second half it was all City. We should have had a penalty on Walker, and we should have had a penalty on Akanji. The one at the end, I don't think it was a penalty, because even though it did hit Howell on the hand, I don't think it was like a clear and obvious handball, and I don't think there was much he could have done in that situation. But you can't blame the referee for the whole game and the result as in general, because the missed opportunities is the reason why we didn't win the game today. We conceded a sloppy goal. I think it was Kyle Walker's fault, and he's been absolutely shocking this season, by the way. He made like 2 mistakes when we played Newcastle away, and he's done a similar mistake today. Sterling coming back to haunt us. But once we conceded, we was always going to be up against it then, because we gave Chelsea something to hold on to. And in the games that we've played against the top 6 at the Etihad, whenever they've scored first, we've always ended up not winning. Because I remember that Spurs game 3-3. I feel like whenever teams have scored first against us this season, it's knocked the players' confidence completely. But I do think the goal that we got to get back into the game was too late. Had we have got that on the 70th minute or the 65th minute, like say 10-15 minutes before, then we've actually had a good chance of winning the game. I feel like we got the goal too late. Because I feel like there's been times where we scored late in games, like to get like an equaliser, and then the other team's gone up the other end and found a winning goal. So I feel like we didn't want to go all out to get the 3 points at the end when we got that equaliser, in case we ended up losing the game through a counter-attack. But I don't know how we've not won that game today. Chelsea did have their chances, to be fair to them, but they no way in God's day should have come out of that game with any points. And they've come out of the game with 1 point. Disasi played really well for them, to be fair. And I thought Kowal played well as well. And I thought their whole defence was outstanding, but they did get very lucky there with how bad our finishing was and how bad the officiating was. But we've still got a game in hand, which is on Tuesday against Brentford. And 4 points is catchable, because I remember we were 8 points behind Arsenal in like April time. And up until they dropped points against Liverpool at Anfield, where they were 2-0 up and they drew 2-2, we were 8 points behind and we clawed it back. So I feel like we can claw it back again, but it's going to be harder for us to win it this time, because we're playing... competing against two teams for the title, where in other seasons it's just been one team, which is going to make it harder. But I think we can do it, because before this game we were on a good run, but I feel like this result was coming, kind of, because we were very poor against Everton, but we won. And there's been other games in this run where we haven't played at our best and we've got the win, so it's not surprising for me that we've dropped points a day. But keep believing. Don't give up just yet. I'm not going to hit the panic button until it gets to a stage where we've played Liverpool and Arsenal and we've not won those two games. Because until it gets to that point where we don't win those two games, then you can't rule out City. Yeah, anyway. My man of the match would have been Nathan Ake. I feel like he's probably the most underrated player in the league. At least one of them, anyway. Because he doesn't, get the plaudits that, Diaz does or Stones does or any of our other defenders. And he's been consistent for the past 2 or 3 years, and I still don't know a single City fan that gives him the full plaudits that he deserves. And I'm very disappointed, but it's just one of those games where it's better that we got a point than nothing, because if we had got nothing, then it would have been a much worse situation for us. But time will tell come the end of the season whether it'll be a point gained or 2 points lost. And I'm very frustrated, and I'm very angry, so I'm not going to continue the video, because I don't want to say stuff that gets me kicked off of YouTube and stuff like that, so that's why I'm going to end it here. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.